Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Auditor General.
Good to see you, Senator.
Very nice to see you as well. Two-part question about cybersecurity. What is your office doing to track cyber attacks at the state, county, municipal, and school district level?
At the county level, I would say we don't have the jurisdiction there, but it is part of all of our school district audits. It's something that we've added to each of our school district audits to make sure that they are doing everything they can to protect children, the employees, healthcare records, et cetera. So we've added that question to each of our school district audits. We also have broadly put the information out to municipal governments, what we believe are best practices in other areas. So the local government and the county level, we're not able to tackle that specifically, but in the areas where we have jurisdiction, we've added it to our audits.
Very good. So does the state have a strategy in place to understand the scope of this growing problem such that we can better identify the resources that we need to implement to address it?
If there is a specific strategy that's being implemented throughout the state, I'm not aware of it. There may be. I do know that we're doing our best within the confines of our jurisdiction to tackle this issue. I think we all, and I believe we all are taking this seriously now. When it comes to whether it is, again, individuals or state entities or anywhere in between, all of our information is under attack all the time now. So it is important. It is incumbent upon us, specifically the area where I am the most concerned is when it comes to school districts, because you have some school districts that, let's be blunt, aren't the wealthiest in the world. And they're trying sometimes to make sure that the school buses are running on time, they're getting the teachers paid and trying to make sure kids get an education. And dealing with cyber attacks to protect kids' private healthcare information is a challenge for them. And just to tell you, we've seen school districts doing their best, but it is a concern.
I agree with you, and I asked that question. I haven't seen evidence of a strategy either, and so you have basically corroborated what I've observed, and you're correct. 75% of these types of attacks seem to target governmental entities, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. Transitioning to the SURE audit. For people who are listening who don't know what that is, that's the statewide uniform registry of electors.
Hence the acronym.
Hence the acronym. You recently completed an audit at the end of last year, and I've had many constituents who have written me over my tenure here in the General Assembly that believe that the Commonwealth should have voter ID restored. Your audit, I believe, should be an alarm for that effort to be revived again. So 2 parts from your press release regarding the audit are especially concerning to me, and I quote, "Weaknesses in the voter registration application process and the maintenance of voter records in the SURE system resulted in instances of potentially inaccurate voter record information." You went on to say that data analysis identified tens of thousands of potential duplicate and inaccurate voter records, as well as nearly 3,000 records for potentially deceased voters that need to be verified. I'm not going to insult people, or from other states, but there are places where, the joke has been that people vote even when they're dead, and I certainly would hope that Pennsylvania is never going to have that reputation. Following the audit, your team provided 50 recommendations to the department. So is your department concerned that those errors that your audit identified could play a role in weakening the integrity of our elections process in 2020?
Thank you, Senator. We believe that our audit was comprehensive, and if all of our recommendations were implemented, that we would have a very secure system, and hopefully the recommendations that we've put forward are taken seriously by the department and the administration in this General Assembly. If those are all implemented, and there may be other ideas that they would have and you would have and the administration would have, but we believe those 50 recommendations, if implemented, would lead to a secure system.
So the department's post-election audit work group contains various special interests, Common Cause, the Brennan Center, but there's no one from the General Assembly. What are your thoughts on that?
Why no one from the General Assembly is on that, I do not know. I would not want to take a guess as to what other people are thinking. I do know this, that if changes are needed legislatively, they should be opening up a dialogue with you at the minimum.
So the Department of State said they'll replace the Shore system by the end of 2021. Do you have thoughts on that effort?
The system does need to be replaced. It needs to be improved. And even when it came to how the county voter election offices were picking their vendors for the new machines, my biggest concern with all of these discussions is making sure that it is a fair, open, and transparent bidding process. That has always been my concern. I've had concerns at the county level in how some of the counties across Pennsylvania pick their vendors. There is only a handful of entities in the country that do this. So giving any one of them an unfair advantage over anyone else, to me, is a big mistake. And hopefully some of the work that we've done in our criticism of county elections departments across Pennsylvania has been a wake-up call to some of the shenanigans that happen in this system.
One last question. Has the Department of State reimbursed your $100,000 audit?
The answer to that is yes.
Thank you.